Hello everybody, we're on take number 19 of making this video. I'm getting a little angry, but I think I finally figured it out. The audio wasn't working for a while, but I think I got it figured out. Okay, first of all, you are going to need to have this link open. So you're going to go to your browser and go to Google Chrome or Safari or Firefox, whatever you use, and type in the address bar, like you type in a normal website, you're going to type in gg.gg/LoganCalc. When you do that, a calculator should come up on your screen. I'm having you use that calculator because then when I kind of talk about which buttons to press and the order in which to press them, we're all on the same page then, and you guys know that it'll work for your calculator. Because what I've experienced in the past is I'm telling people to press buttons on their calculator, and people are using all different types of calculators, and it doesn't work on certain types. So now we're all on the same page. This is the one you're expected to use. Okay, to start, this is just a review from last week. Remember, trig, which is sine, cosine, tangent, it can only be used on right triangles. So this is a right triangle. We have right angle in it, so we can use trig on this triangle. Our directions say to find each for angle C. Angle C is the one with a C on it, so it's this one. We got to find sine, cosine, and tangent. In order to do that, we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. Now what we need to do is list out O, A, and H in terms of angle C. So first, let's start with O. What's opposite of angle C? That would be 15. Again, we always do it in terms of the angle that they tell us, so angle C. Next up, what's adjacent? Well, Mr. Adler, you might be saying there's two sides that are right next to it. Adjacent means next to. 8 and 17 are both next to it. So which one's the adjacent side? Well, it might be easiest to find the hypotenuse first. So what I mean by that is, well, hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So 17 is across from the right angle. Now, the only side that's next to C and hasn't been used is 8, so the adjacent side is 8. Now to find sine, cosine, and tangent, we just list out for sine, for sine, we're going to do opposite over hypotenuse, O over H. 15 is O, H is 17. For cosine, I'll use the mnemonic device ca, they both start with a C. And cosine tells you to do A over H. Adjacent over hypotenuse is 8 over 17. Along the same lines, tangent is O over A. So I'm going to say 15 over A is 8. Okay, now today we're going to do the same things, the same trig relationships to find side lengths of a triangle. Now, this is the portion we need a calculator for. So if you haven't already, go to your computer, type in gg.gg/LoganCalc. Okay, if you need the link written out, scroll up or rewind the video, and it is written above. Okay, so now we have to find x, which I accidentally deleted, which is here. Okay, so we got to find x. So start with the angle that you're given that is not a right angle. So we're given two angles technically. We have a right angle, but that just tells us we can use trig. And then we're given this angle. This angle, the 37, that's the angle we're going to put everything in terms of. So I'm going to list out O, A, and H in terms of this angle, in terms of 37. So what's opposite? X. Now, 15, is that adjacent or the hypotenuse? Well, I know that it is across from the 90-degree angle, making it 15. Now, you might be saying, well, Mr. Adler, I don't have an A value. What do I put for A? You don't need it. You only need 2 when you're given the angle and the sides. So what we do now is we're going to say SOHCAHTOA. You have an O value. You have an H value. Which trig function, SOHCA or TOA, uses O and H? You should be saying, well, so does. And it's OH, O over H. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the sine, because it starts with an S, sine of the angle. What was the angle that we used? Well, 37. Sine of 37 equals O over H, so X over 15. Now you're probably saying, well, how the heck do I figure out what x is? Well, what we're going to do is if we had like, let's back it up. Let's say we have a whole number, sine of 37. This is a number. If you type it into your calculator, you're going to get a number out. So let's say we have 7 equals 15 over x, or 7 equals x over 15. That's a whole number equals a fraction. Easy way to solve for x is to put this over 1 or this over 1 and then cross multiply and find it out. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put this sign over a number, so over 1, and then we're just going to go through and cross multiply. So I'm going to say 1 times x, that's just x. So it equals 15 times the sine, not e sign, times the sine of 37. Again, I cross multiplied. 1 times x, that's x. 15 times sine of 37. I don't know what that is yet, but I can use my calculator. One thing I will say is I encourage you to put the number in front, and that just leaves less room for a calculator error, and I'll go and explain that right now. So now go to your calculator, type in 15, 1, 5, times, which is right next to the 3, the sine, first button, upper left-hand corner, of 37. Now you should have a number on your screen. It should say x equals 9.027. So we're going to call it x equals 9.03. Now, the reason I had you put the 15 first is technically we're supposed to close this parenthesis, but if we put the 15 first, we don't need to. So if you forget to, it's not going to cause an issue. If you type in sine of 37 times 15 and you don't close the parenthesis, you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, so always just put that number first and you won't have to worry about it. X equals 9.03. Okay, on to the next one, and I erased this value. We'll call this side 25. That sounds beautiful. That's a 5. Sorry, when I erased the document, because I've done this video so many times, I must have taken out some portions of the original problems. Okay, so again, I have a right triangle and I'm given an angle. So I'm going to base everything off of this angle. I'm going to list out O, A, H. Actually, I lied. Let's put the 25 on bottom so this problem turns out a little different. Okay. So we got to list out OAH in terms of this angle, in terms of 21. So what's opposite? We don't know what's opposite, so we don't care about that one. We do, however, know that the adjacent side is going to be 25. How did I know that? Well, I knew the hypotenuse was across in the right angle, so that was x, and that the only possibility left for the adjacent side was 25. Okay, so now I have SOHCAHTOA. Which one, SOHCAHTOA, uses A and H? You should be saying, well, that's ka, Mr. Adler. Oh, boy. Okay. So we have the cosine of the angle that I used. The angle that I used was 21. Cosine of 21 equals A over H, 25 over X. Now we do the same trick we did last time. It doesn't matter if X is on top or bottom if we're doing that trick that we used last time. What we're going to do, put this over 1, and now I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times 25, well, that's easy. That's 25 equals, do it in red, cosine of 21 times x. Well, how do you get x by itself if you're multiplying? Well, to get rid of multiplying, you divide. Remember, this is a number. So if I had 25 equals 3x, you just divide by 3 and divide by 3. It's that simple. We're going to do the same thing, but now instead of dividing by 3, we're going to divide by the cosine of 21. Those cancel. Get x equals 25 divided by the cosine of 21. Now, go to your calculator. To clear out your calculator, hit AC. It's in the middle on the bottom row. So now you're going to hit 25 divided by cosine, top row, middle, of 21. Doesn't matter if you close your parentheses again. I encourage you to just get in the habit of doing it, but if you forget, that's okay for now. Should get x equals 26.778, so 26.78. Okay, on to the last one. Again, we have a right triangle, and we are given one angle. We're going to put everything in terms of this angle. We're going to list out my O, my A, my H. I encourage you to pause the video and try it yourself. But I will give you about 5 seconds here before I go through the problem now. Okay, so what is opposite of 62? You're saying, well, that's x. Which side do you not know? Because my adjacent side could be this one or this one. Well, your hypotenuse is this one, and there's nothing there. That means your adjacent side has to be 9. So, ka, toa. Which one uses O and A? Toa. So toa, that tells us we're going to use the tangent of my angle. Tangent of 62 equals O over A, x over 9. Same trick, put this over 1. Cross multiply. 1 times x is x equals 9 times the tangent of 62. Go to your calculator, clear everything out. AC, middle row on the bottom. 9 times tangent, top row, third one in, of 62 equals 16.926, so x equals 16.93. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Just shoot me an email. Otherwise, I will talk to you later.